Season 2, Episode 2, High Class Individuals, the podcast, and I'm your host, Rich Kid Kevo. Co-host Q Franco had to take a rain check, but he'll be back soon. But today, we got a beautiful guest in the building, man. Pleasure meeting you for the first time. And Taste the Bree is in the building, y'all. Give it up for the first female on High Class Individuals, the podcast. So, Bree, let's get right into this, man. We ain't gonna waste no time.
Okay.
I like to ask people, where did you grow up? How did you grow up? How was the childhood for you?
My childhood was pretty interesting. I grew up with my mom and dad for a short period of time. Then they separated, so I pretty much was just with my mom and my brother. So we pretty much have like a small family. That's how it was growing up. Pretty close knit, just me and my brother. He's 2 years younger than me, and it was just me and him. You know, my mom was working a lot, so we was pretty much, you know, fending for ourselves in a good way, not in a bad way. You know, Mom had to work. We making sure we go to school, do our work. Just typical kids, you know, just trying to make sure our mom is, you know, making stuff easier for her. Even though we just kids, but you know, there's be a lot of stress going on. So I would say it's pretty much it. Nothing too traumatizing, thank God. Sure. But you know, just me and my brother, just good times. That's all I remember.
Cool. And the reason I like to ask that question, people, is because we're interviewing high class individuals. So I want to let people know, like, no matter what situation you come from or area that you come from, you can be successful in life. With that being said, when did you start, you know, whipping up in the kitchen? When did you get up on that stove and start doing your thing?
I started doing that when I was in college, pretty much. I would say cooking for me really stems from like being creative. So anything in the creativity lane, like dancing, art, cooking was one of them. And then I realized that I really love to do it. So right after I got out of junior college, I went to culinary school because I just felt like I just wanted to really master that skill and see what was to it. So I realized that I really loved it, and then just decided to pursue it further on.
Gotcha. So were you cooking as like a kid, or like you wasn't touching the pots and pans?
I was cooking as a kid. I was always creating stuff, just like looking at the Food Network. That was my favorite channel, always watching how food is being made. One of my favorite shows was Unwrapped. That's like a really popular show that was on Food Network, teaches you about like how different foods are made. But no, I mean, I was cooking really as a kid, just kind of like experimenting with recipes. But really, once I got out of high school and like really got into culinary school, that's when I really like thrived in it. So I was just like playing around as a kid, really. You know, I wanted an easy bake oven when I was little. My mom got it for me, and I'm just trying to cook the most in that little easy bake oven.
Full course meals.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I really like this.
So can I ask you, in that easy bake oven, what was the best meal that you made out of that?
I would say a 2-layer chocolate cake. That's what I made.
There you go. We in the building, y'all. So, have you always been vegan? Are you 100% vegan?
I'm actually not 100% vegan. Okay. I still incorporate seafood here and there, but for the most part, I do practice plant-based eating. I like to use the word plant-based because vegan is just, it's so many things attached to that, like to even say vegan, down to what you wear, what perfume you wearing, and stuff like that. So I like to say incorporating plant-based, like 75% into my diet. Every now and then I eat some seafood, but no chicken, no dairy, no red meat, no turkey.
Now, can I ask you something? What got you your eyes on being vegan? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, so I started off pretty much making food for everybody because the basis of my company is meal prep, so healthy eating, period. So that goes from like, you know, chicken breast, good lean cuts of meat. I was doing that. Then I started running into people that were asking me about plant-based. They're asking me, do I know how to cook plant-based? Am I familiar with it? And at the time, this was like 6 years ago when I was first starting, I heard a little bit about it, but I'm like, all right, I see a lot of people are interested in this, so let me just do my research. Did my research, start playing around with more recipes. I started loving it. I started really loving the benefits that it was giving people that decided to eat plant-based. So I'm like, this can actually help people too. So I really started thriving in it as well. So I feel like it was a sign from the universe. Like so many great things have happened for me from just like putting the plant-based out there and even incorporating it in my own life. It's like I'm being geared towards that way, and I love it.
Cool. So I got a couple questions. Let me line them up real quick. So for a person that is not plant-based, what are the benefits? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes. So definitely a longer life lived, you know. You're really reducing the risk of cancer and a lot of other diseases that we get that we don't even realize that comes from meat. So basically overall just like a better heart, you know. Everything that we eat is directed to the health of our heart. So like chicken, red meat, you know what I'm saying? If you start cutting that out your diet slowly but surely, you're going to start to feel better. You're going to start to notice changes in your body. Like I used to have really bad asthma as a child, and I don't need my inhaler anymore. I used to have super bad allergies. I'm talking about sneezing every year. I'm taking Claritin, and I learned that like it's so much mucus in the chicken that we eat, you know, that we don't even realize it, and that's building up in our body. So I stopped eating chicken. I haven't had to take Claritin like the past 2 years. So I know that that's a direct result from me not eating meat. So just little things like that, you'll start to notice in your body.
So one of my homies had a question, and I'm gonna ask you right now. That was actually gonna be the last question.
Okay.
And y'all gotta bear with me if I pronounce his name wrong. Dr. Sebi.
Okay, Sebi, Dr. Sebi.
Dr. Sebi. Was he an influence on you at all, or do you know a little bit about him?
I do know about him. I would say he had a small influence on it because I know he's more focused on like alkaline eating, which is like way more deeper than plant-based. It's like down to the grains that you can't eat. But I definitely had a couple people reach out to me and ask, do I follow his plans or can I make some meals geared towards that? And I did, but it's definitely like a lot of extra work, which is fine, but you have to really know what you're doing. Like alkaline is just a whole nother world. But he's definitely had a major influence on like a lot of my clients that buy meals from me. Gotcha. Like they say they started off following what he's put on his list of things to eat. He has a list of all the grains and things that you can consume. So I would say
let's get into this restaurant. So matter of fact, let's go back over to this COVID thing.
Okay.
When COVID happened, did you have your business open at that time?
I did. I was actually transitioning, literally working from home, doing meals, and I was working in a kitchen with a young lady that had a bakery. She was letting me use her bakery to make my meals out of. And that's right when COVID happened, and I was like, you know what, it's time for me. I was still busier than ever because my business focuses on healthy eating. We're delivering the meals to you like for the whole week. So you don't even got to leave the house. You don't got to go to the grocery store. At that time, the grocery stores were empty. Like it was a lot going on. So my business was really thriving in that time of COVID because people still relied on that, on getting their meals delivered to them, and we still kept our word. So I was able to expand into the restaurant that I'm at now.
Gotcha.
And it was all so good. Like it was like the perfect timing for me, I feel like, because I already had a concept in my head that it's going to be fast casual to go, and you're picking up meals and you might get some egg rolls and stuff too while you come, but it's not like sitting down taking your order. Like that was always my mindset if I did ever have a restaurant, which was perfect. So because you know nobody couldn't sit like 10 feet from each other and this and that, so I didn't have to worry about that. Gotcha.
So with that being said, you go from not having a restaurant to saying, hey, I want a spot to be in. How did you transition out of being at home to a restaurant facility? Like, how did you get into that business world? Were you scared to get into that business world?
Okay, I feel like all the right things were happening to me at the right reason. Like first I was at home cooking, and I just started noticing like I'm running out of space. Let me see what the next step is. So I literally didn't jump into the restaurant. I went to a shared commercial kitchen space, which has other chefs in there, and you're cooking in your own section and your own table. And I was there for about a year, and that was a major step for me at the time because I'm like, well, I didn't even know these existed. and I just Googled like commercial kitchen spaces or wherever. So I got there. Then, like I said, I outgrew that. Went to the bakery with the young lady that who opened her space up to me. Was there for like a year, and then I finally moved on because I'm like, I still need my own space. Like, it's nothing like having your own space to go to, you know, to create.
Gotcha.
So it was definitely steps. I would definitely tell people, like, don't just jump right into the restaurant. It's like baby steps, you know, because what if I would have got that restaurant and then, you know, you don't need all of that at that one time. You just need, like, you know, I needed the table and the refrigerator at that time. Then I grew and I learned what I needed more of, the more I had to scale.
Gotcha. This ain't even one of the questions that's on the little list, but I want to ask you, do you have employees?
I do have employees. I have 7 staff members all together. So it's 4 of us in the kitchen, and I have 2 drivers. And I just really got fully staffed. That was also something that took some time too. In the first couple of years, of course, it was just me by myself. Even in a commercial kitchen, I had 1 extra person and a driver. So once I got into this restaurant, I started hiring some more people, and I feel like that's just a whole nother world that I had to learn too, because we're all just thinking about, oh, I need a place to cook, I need a place to expand, but then what about when you finally get in the space, you actually need people to help you, you know, to continue to expand, and that's just like a whole nother world. I've never been a manager in my life, so at any job outside of like cooking, so like this is all still new to me. I'm still learning, so I just try to read a lot of books about leadership so I can know, like, you know, how to be a great leader instead of like a boss.
Right. And we're not gonna throw no shade on no employees, but I just want to ask you, like, what were the cons of having employees? Was it a lot of people that you had to let go? Did you deal with stealing in the business atmosphere? Did you deal with people not showing up on time? How did you handle that? You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Thank God I haven't had to deal with anybody stealing. So, but as far as other aspects, like, you think that you found that right person that's gonna fit your company, and you're just like, oh, they're so good, you know what I'm saying? You just kind of erase and like don't really see the other flaws, because it's like they're such a good worker. They show up on time, they never steal, they do their work. But sometimes it's the attitude, you know, like the attitude could do it for you, and I've had to deal with that. Super good worker. And then it's just like the energy as we're growing, they're just being so negative. And, you know, you have to watch how people are speaking around you and your business, because words are powerful. You know, you're getting upset because there's customers coming in. This is the restaurant business. So I feel like just having people that want to grow with you, you know, some people want to just stay the same. And it's like, we're a growing company, so you got to be able to grow too, or you're going to get left behind. And everybody doesn't want to grow. I have to learn that too. Like, some people have a job and they just want to do that job and that's it. They don't want to grow, do anything extra, even if it requires making more money. I'm willing to pay, but, you know, they have to have it in their heart that they actually want to grow within themselves. So sadly, that has been an issue. But like I said, there's always better people that will come around. You might not think so in the moment, like, oh, I'm never going to find nobody to replace them. They were so good, this and that. But no, somebody else always comes and shows you, like, wow, you could have been elevated your staff, you know. So really just the attitude. Other than that, you got to really just have your rules in place, so that way, you know, nothing like being on time, like that's simple stuff. So it's just like, if you already don't have that, I shouldn't have to worry about like you being on time, this and that. So it's really just like the attitude and people just having a value for your business.
Now I'm smiling so much. Hey, look, and I'm smiling because I got all my teeth. They ain't the whitest, but my mama always told me I had the brightest smile, y'all. But my man's in the background. Y'all can't see him. He just shaking his head because I remember he opened PBJ's, man, and he went through a hard time with that, with employees or whatever. But I just want to ask you, like, do you mind sitting in your business 12 hours, 16 hours a day, are you able to leave your business? You get what I'm saying? Like,
yes, I am able to leave my business. I am able to leave early. I am there every day, pretty much, of course, making sure things are getting started off good and just overseeing. But I am to the point where I'm able to leave, but I still do love being in there.
Right.
I do love that I have the option to leave if I want to. And that just goes to show me like that I'm doing something right to even be able to do this, because a lot of Black-owned businesses really kind of don't have the staff, and if they do, it's just like they can't leave. I'm not trying to spend 12 hours in there. I love my business, but it's like a work-life balance, even for my staff. That's why my hours are my hours for my business, because I want everybody to have that balance, even if you are working for me. So I definitely get to leave, but I don't mind being in there. Like, if somebody quit, I already have it in my mental, like, oh, I'm gonna be doing 16-hour days, because we down a person now, so I gotta step all the way in. And I know I could work like 2 people. So, but do I want to do that all the time? No.
Right.
So that's why I'm just bettering myself every day to train my staff to make sure everything is running smoothly, which it is. Of course, nothing's gonna be perfect, but it's definitely running smooth.
Gotcha. So I went on your website, and the thing that popped out to me is that you got these books, Undercover Vegan, and I do my research on everybody.
Okay, cool.
You come up into my studio, you come into my office, I'm gonna do my research on you. How did you go about writing a book? Did you have a diary as a child? Did that inspire you to write that book? How did you go about writing that book?
Honestly, I did have a diary, but I wasn't writing about recipes. But I always liked to write anyways as a child. So, and then this just goes back to me creating. It really just started from me creating videos for social media, like how to cook, little things here and there, vegan stuff here and there. And a lot of people will just comment like, do you have a recipe for this? Do you have a recipe for this? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a recipe book. So I sat down, I made 2 ebooks, and then I dedicated myself to write an entire book with 60 recipes and actually publish it on my own.
Gotcha.
So I just did that last summer, and that was really big for me, because it's just always hard trying to find out how to even start. Like, how do you even write a book? How do you even publish it? Like, I just went to Google and kind of did my research, found the website, typed up all the recipes on my own. Took about 2 months. Yeah, so, but you know, it's cool. I was dedicated to doing that because this is something that I have forever. You know, I put in that little amount of time to have something that I can actually sell and have on forever. So looking back to see like actually what I make just from having the books is amazing. Just ebooks that I'm posting recipes on my social media and people are buying them. So it's really a good turnout. But yeah, I've always liked to write, so it just came easy to me.
What was that book that the Black women used to read, man? The Coldest Winter Ever.
Okay.
Did you see that? Did you read that book?
I didn't.
Cool.
I didn't.
Okay. A lot of Black women did.
Okay.
But you know, check it out or whatever, man. I just remember growing up and a lot of the girls had that book, Coldest Winter Ever. But anyway, how do you handle the fame, the success? We see on Instagram that you have 178,000 followers. 179,000 followers. How do you handle that? How you feel about that?
I feel fine. You know, growing up, I was really a shy child, and I wouldn't say I had that many friends. I was always kind of to myself, and I just hung with the same amount of people. So I'm really still shy. Even though I like to post and, you know, my videos and stuff, I feel like I'm just being myself. So I really don't feel the way it is, you know, funny when people come in and just like, oh my God, I follow you, this and that. But it's cool because I really like see that they value the connection. Like, I'm actually seeing her, I'm gonna go support her, and you know, I can send her a message, email, she's gonna respond. Like, I'm real responsive to people. I'm not stuck up. You send me a message, I'm gonna respond back to you. I'm gonna help you, whatever you need. You buy my book, you got a question, like, you know, I'm still attainable to a certain point. So I think that makes me feel good. And you know, because it's crazy, we all got somebody that we look up to, and I have had quite a few people tell me that they look up to me. So it just makes me feel good. Like, you know, I'm being myself, and I'm also helping people, and they value it. They value the journey.
Would you, and when I say this, don't take it the wrong way. You gotta let me finish this. So a guy named Bam Kevo, he teaches tactics on how to better your credit through OnlyFans. Would you inspire people, so that's a lot of responsibility. Would you set up like tutorials or something like that on OnlyFans to get paid, or would you stay away from that or just give out free game?
Okay, I don't got nothing against OnlyFans, but I honestly feel like giving out the free game is where it's at. Cause like that's really how I started. I was just giving out free recipes, or like every other video would have like a recipe or something. It wasn't consistent, but the fact that they were just looking for the videos, they're like, oh, we want recipes, and that made me, create a book. So, but before that, they were still drawn to my page, still drawn to the business, still drawn to me without me even trying to sell. So I feel like sometimes once we start to like sell and be like that salesperson, people kind of get like turned off in a way. Like they're still gonna support, but I feel like that organic support is cool, and you could always buy my book. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's there. I think it's cool what he's doing, like setting up on OnlyFans, because like that's people showing you who's really serious about it. So that's why I started doing cooking classes. Next Thursday is going to be our third class that we are teaching, and it's just myself, and it's actually in my kitchen. So it's $180 per person, and it's 3 hours. And our first class was a success. It was booked out. So I feel like that's my way of like teaching people behind the scenes. If you're serious, you're going to show up hands on and be cooking with me.
Let people know where your location is.
So we're in Cicero, Illinois, 4941 West 14th Street. So on the west side of Chicago, right off of Laramie.
So my homie had a question. Basically, would you sell any product of yours in the store? Do you see that in the future for you?
I do actually. I am working on bottling my sauces that I use for our vegan wings. We use lion's mane mushroom for our vegan wings. We fry them, batter them up, and I have a sauce that is called Hot Not Honey, which is a play on words because honey is not vegan, so we use agave. But in real life, everybody uses like hot honey chicken, hot honey catfish. So I just came up with the name Hot Not Honey Sauce. Actually got it trademarked. So I actually have a logo for it too. I'm just in the stages of actually putting it on the bottle and like, getting the nutrition facts and stuff like that. And that would be like the first product that I would see being sold in stores, because it's not a lot of vegan, plant-based hot sauces that you can buy that taste good.
Gotcha. Can you make some vegan Hennessy? If possible?
I wish I could. I really wish I could. Like, that don't sound too bad.
Yeah. I drink Hennessy all day, y'all, but y'all know that, man. I want to thank y'all for, tuning in with that Hennessy journey that I'm on. But, with the stress, I see that you in the gym a lot. Do you use the gym to handle stress?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. If I'm feeling overwhelmed, but even just for myself, period, I want to be able to still be there physically, show up physically and mentally. So going to the gym definitely helps me. It gives me that balance between work. Like, I'm not just working. Like, I'm actually working on myself too. And it just feels really, really, really good. And it does help elevate my mental a lot. Because, having a business is stressful. Anybody that's an entrepreneur knows. So you got to have that one thing that's a good outlet that, that doesn't take that long, that makes you feel good on the inside.
Gotcha. So for not even a young lady, man, but just for a young person, man, or anybody that just wanted to start a business, what do you suggest to them?
I would suggest just to really make sure you have the passion for it, because and the discipline. Passion and discipline go hand in hand. You're gonna have the passion. You're gonna want to do it, love to do it, even on the bad days, slow days. Like, you got to keep that same energy no matter what, because that's what's going to help you. And when you get to the discipline part, you got to continue to show up once again on the bad days, slow days, good days. Show up, keep being consistent. Like, don't listen to nobody on the outside, unless they actually in there with you, because a lot of outside stuff can throw you off. That's why, if I have big things, I only tell a select few people, because I just don't need all the outside energy.
Right.
You need a clear head, clear space. So just make sure that you're listening to yourself, have the passion, have the discipline, and it will definitely take you far. You're going to learn so much along your journey you had no idea.
Gotcha. So I think we're in 2024, y'all. 10 years from now, maybe 5 to 10 years from now, where do you see yourself? Where do you see your brand at,
10 years from now, I definitely see my brand being one of the first Black-owned meal prep companies to actually ship nationwide. So, like, that's the next big major thing. I want to be able to be nationwide, having my Taste of Breed like boxes branded, showing up to people's front doors, having a actual building that I bought with my own money, like that I own this building, and just having it to pass on to my kids and his kids' generation. So basically just a legacy, Taste of Breed, like we're focusing on healthy eating and feeding the community. So I want to try to make that as convenient as possible as far as like the delivery, having a location with a drive-through that people can come and pick up healthy meals, because there's nothing like that. Subway is supposed to be healthy, but they don't even have drive-through. So it's just like, I want to be like, I'm going to be that brand that does that.
Now, I see you brought your son with you today.
Yes.
Does he understand what mommy's doing?
He understands 100% what mommy's doing. Just earlier this year, I decided to homeschool him, which is why I brought him here today. So he's fully hands-on with me. He comes to work with me. And then we, like he's seeing everything. He's coming to the store with me. He understands what I'm doing. He understands what I'm building. So I love the fact that he gets to come. And he loves it too. He's super interested. So he's seeing like, what it takes. And he's already saying like, I want to build something. Like I want to have my own company, or, I want to work for you, this and that. So it's important that kids do actually see that instead of sitting in a classroom 8 hours a day. You don't really know what they're doing, what they up to, and they could just be hands-on with you. And you could just, teach them actual life skills that they will need to be in this position.
Right. Any books that you read on your spare time?
Lately, I haven't been reading any. The most recent book that I have read was I Hope You Fail by Pinky Cole. I love her. She's the owner of Slutty Vegan, in case you didn't know. Okay. But she's like a huge inspiration to me, because she kind of started off where I did. And she said she has one of the biggest vegan brands out there. Like Slutty Vegan is like a household name. So she wrote a book, I Hope You Fail. And it's basically like each chapter is dedicated, but it's like, it's saying I hope you fail because you're going to learn from that. Right. So she has different topics in there, like I hope you go broke, I hope you, like it's so many ways, play on words, but it all has meaning to it. So like saying I hope you go broke, like sometimes you do gotta lose it all to see how you can get it back and then keep it, Right. Like you have to go through certain things to never make it happen again. So I feel like that's the whole point of her book. Like I hope you fail. She had a restaurant and it burned down, and she was saying like if that never would have happened, she never would even have this empire. It was like a Jamaican spot that she had, and then it burned down. She went back to work, she figured something else out, and now she had a Slutty Vegan, which is amazing. And she's like, if that never would have happened, I would never have even thought to do this or go that direction.
Gotcha. Have you felt like you ever lost it all and get it back?
I felt like sometimes I was close, but I would just say like mentally, I wouldn't even say like, I would just say mentally, I feel like I almost lost it all, just dealing with so much of the pressure of having a growing brand and just people on the outside thinking everything's so cool. Oh, she shows up on social media, this and that. But it's like behind closed doors, I, be going through stuff mentally. Like, can I really handle this? Like, drastic things happen, people quitting on me. It's just so emotional. And sometimes I don't have an outlet. So it's just like, I just kind of keep it all in my head and kind of just deal with it. But I feel like I've always gotten through it, just looking at my son, like he's helped me get through so much, mentally. So I would say, it's important to just keep our mental health on a top tier scale, because that's important. Like that could make you lose it all. Now you could be making all the money, but you like, are you good up here? Right. At the end of the day.
Yeah, and mental health awareness really ain't looked at decently in the Black community, man. I remember working at a behavior center, and it was strange. It was very different on that aspect.
Okay.
But hopefully, man, they get the help that they need.
Yeah.
And found that outlet. Some people use exercise. Some people use what do they call that? That food eating. When you eat food to feel happy, what do they call that?
It's the word for it. I forgot.
You can say it, cuz. You said what now? No, it ain't called gluttony, G. It's called something, I don't know, happy
Eat a
eating.
lot of food too. Overeating, stress eating.
Yeah, something like that, man.
Okay, I know I'm not eating nothing. If I'm sad, I'm like,
But see, here's the thing. You know, if somebody's sad, they can come to your store. They can eat some healthy food.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's all about what you eat. Like, that affects your mood too. I don't know if anybody saw that video where Stormy, she's like a coach, and she was like, I would never eat that on the plate. And it's like, it was funny, but it was for real. Like, you know, we could get deeper into it, like the chakras, the food that you eat. That's why we only sell tea at our restaurant that we make in house. We don't even sell pop or anything like that. You only get tea or water, and we make it. So, but it's great because it's like they not even seeing that option, so they're gonna be forced to buy the teas, and they love it. All our teas are organic and they're beneficial. We got a butterfly pea flower tea, a hibiscus, and a liquid gold, which has like ginger and stuff in it. So it's all helping you down to the drinks.
Gotcha. Ty, you in the background. Any questions, man? No, we gonna have fun. We gonna have fun. We ain't done yet. What music you listen to while you working out?
I love to listen to like 90s hip hop. So my playlist is always on like Nelly, and then I'll start a station from that on Apple Music because I just love that era. I love the music back then. T.I. songs, like any song, hip hop songs from the 90s, in the 2000s. That's what I'm listening to.
Gotcha.
Nothing current.
What? Hold on.
I know, right now.
How you feel about today's rap?
Today's rap, it's okay, but I'm not a fan. I really don't even listen to today's rap like that, to be honest, unless it's like a female artist and she got a really cold song. Like, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna listen to that, but it's really nothing on my radar that I'm playing like on my phone in the car. I'm not even listening to today's rap because it's just, it's not even aligned with what I'm trying to do. It's just so much
Low vibrations.
Yeah, low vibrations. That's the perfect word. Yeah. Sometimes I just like to listen to instrumentals in my car. Even at work, we're listening to instrumentals. You know, like smooth beat instrumentals, hip hop instrumentals, like no words.
So I noticed that you were mentioning universe, energy, chakra. How did you tap into that? What age did you tap into that?
I started tapping into that, like, honestly, in my 20s. Here and there, I started hearing about it from other people. I started learning about crystals, and the woman that I was in a bakery with at the time, she was heavily into that. So she really introduced me to more crystals, and it's like I started being drawn to more people or meeting more people that were interested in the same things, like herbal herbs and like herbal teas and things like that. And it's just crazy, like, how you start learning about one thing and you start meeting people in the same circle. So I just started meeting people, and we just started having these conversations about like chakras, and I started getting books about them because I wanted to learn more about it. And I'm just like, oh wow, this is why we feel like this, or this is why we can't think, because like our third eye is blocked from all this other stuff that we're eating or consuming from the radio and the TV. So when you really start getting deep into that, I feel like you're really doing yourself a favor, because sometimes you need to shut down and not listen to anything, just be in the present moment. A lot of people are just so, used to being on the go, or just always having something playing in the background. Like, sometimes you just need to sit still and just like be with yourself. You will learn a lot.
Gotcha. One more question. Was college worth it for you?
College, I would say yes. So I didn't go to a university. I just went to Moraine Valley, which is a 2-year, and that was cool. I'm glad that I did that. Actually, I really did want to go to a university, but my mom was like really strict, so she didn't want us to go away to college. I really, really wanted to go away for 4 years, but now I'm thinking about it, like, I'm glad I didn't, because I didn't have to pay anything for the 2 years that I went. I got financial aid, and then I even got like a check, a refund check, because the school was so cheap, but I still was able to get a degree. So I got a degree in liberal arts, and that was it. So I wouldn't say it was really worth it. I'm not gonna say don't go to college, but I feel like college is really for like real life careers. Like, my brother went the whole 9 to college, and he got his PhD now. He's a college professor. in Philadelphia. He went to Cornell and stuff, so he went the whole way through. Me, I'm like, I just did my 2 years, and now I'm gonna do a trade that I really love, which was cooking, and just elevate from there. So I wouldn't say it was worth it. I'm glad I didn't pay anything, so I don't got no student loans to worry about.
Gotcha. See, and now the reason I asked that is because you got a lot of kids that's in high school and middle school, and they don't know if they want to go to college or if they do. I just want to show the light that you do not have to go to college to be successful.
Right.
And some of the brightest people that I met didn't even finish college or even go at all. That's why I asked that question. With that being said, you want to shout out somebody? You want to shout your Instagram out, do something? Shout moms out, bro out?
Yeah, I want to shout out my mom, definitely, for sure. She helps with my business too. She's on the back end. She's like my assistant, handling like reaching out to customers and stuff. So she's been there through the whole road, and I really want to appreciate and shout out her because she's a big help down from watching my son when I need her to, when I'm going to work, and just being supportive all the time, being supportive, like literally no matter what. She's never been negative, like, oh, you can't do this, or what if this don't, like, she's like, well, let's do it. Let's see what's to it. Like, so, and you need that. You need that. So I definitely want to shout her out. I want to shout out my current team that I have now, you know, working besides me. I'm just ready to keep growing together, and, you know, if I win, we all win.
With that being said, y'all, I'm Rich Kid Capital. Season 2, episode 2. I want to thank my boy Ty for coming through, D for coming through, my engineer man, first female lady on High Class Individuals. I go by the name of Rich Kid Capital, man. Check me out next week, man. Yeah.